Hey, my ready guys! Welcome to our time this Tuesday for this new week. I am filming this on Monday, so it's the 31st. So we're almost in September. Almost in September. I don't even know where this year has gone. Probably because I've been staring at the same four walls pretty much the whole time. So totally lost track of what day it is. Um, but here we are for time this Tuesday. I'm kind of focusing a little bit more on the moon phase. We have a beautiful full moon in Pisces coming up on Wednesday on the 2nd. Very excited for that. Going to be an interesting moon. I will say before we start, as I was getting ready to start filming, I just kept picking up such a anxious energy. Like literally, I was just like I couldn't move fast enough. I felt like I was getting the jitters, and it was cool all morning. So it wasn't like I'm having a stressful morning. Literally just been binging Netflix all day. Um, so it was an interesting thing to kind of shift into. Um, and I think a lot of that is kind of going to be what happens as we move through September. August was pretty, I mean, at least for me, August was pretty chill. Like it wasn't easy, but it was like, wasn't too much. I feel like as we go towards the end of the year, things start to pick up a little bit, at least in intensity. And it kind of makes sense with this moon. So this moon being in Pisces, yes, a full moon is always about endings and releasings and things like that, right? We're closing out cycles. With it also being in Pisces, which is our 12th house, last house in the zodiac, there's going to be endings having to do with where we kind of deceive ourselves, where we lie to ourselves, where we try to like, oh no, it's not that bad, it's fine, you can do that later, you can put that off again. Because remember, Pisces ruled by Neptune, it's that planet of illusion, right? So where do we fall for our own illusions? Where do we kind of tell ourselves, oh no, it's fine, you can do this, when really we should be doing that? Like where do we escape, right? The moon's also making a couple different aspects. There's actually a lot of things going on astrologically right now. Even at the end of the week, I believe. Oh, I know Mercury's moving signs. I want to say it's into Libra. I can't remember. I should have looked that up. But Mars also goes retrograde very soon. That definitely can probably make things a little interesting. So it does kind of feel like the energy in September is going to be a little more intense. There might be a little more call to action. Things might feel a little heavier. So biggest thing with that, be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. There may be more demands. There may be more needs, but all of it's manageable. We're gonna make it through. So don't be too hard on yourself. Breathe, relax. We're gonna get there. Um, Enough of my little soapbox. So we're gonna do almost like every other timeless Tuesday we've been doing. We're gonna pull a couple oracle cards, and then we will dive a little deeper with our tarot. Remember, this is going to be for all signs, and it is a general reading. So if there's a certain card doesn't make sense, doesn't fit your situation, doesn't resonate with you, do not try to force it. Just means it wasn't for you. Leave it in the spread. Take the rest. All right, let's get into it. I had to change the angle today because I feel like I was. Oh, there we go. I was slouching all over when we were facing the other way. I was like, my back is going to give out if I keep filming in that same spot. I just thought the wall was cuter with the painting hanging. Then here's the door and my suitcase. Like, there we go. I always like the number 3. We're going to go for at least 3. Who knows? We might get some more. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, while we're waiting for this last card, the sign readings, I might do a little differently because normally I try to update them, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I will be traveling back home in that window, and I don't know if I want to do like half here, half there. And I want to spend as much time as I can with my friends. Thank you. So I think we're going to stop there. I might do them as, they're either going to be, they might either be shorter, or I might just kind of lump them and do them by like, I'll do the water signs in one video, so on and so forth. I haven't fully decided. We'll see what happens, but just to give you a heads up, I probably won't do individual signs just because of timing, and I don't want to make some wait till I'm back home and all whatever, and and not rush the ones here so I can spend more time. So I might just break it down into 4. I think that's what I'll do. We'll see. All right, let's get into it. So first card out, receptivity. Love this. Oh, now that I'm facing the window, I hope you can see. I don't know, the glare might be a little crazy, but receptivity along with infinite potential. I love this. So having those 2 cards come out first, and almost essentially come out together. If you have long hair, you know the problem is, like, I can feel the hair stuck. There we go. With these 2 cards coming out, I talked a little bit about having to be kinder to yourself, be gentler to yourself, and kind of taking a break. With these 2 cards, for sure, that makes me think of the receptivity, right? Being open, right? With the 2, I think it's being open to greater possibilities, right? Things are going to be bigger than we can ever imagine, right? The growth we're achieving through this phase is really trying to open us up and manifest things that we didn't even know we needed. We didn't even know we wanted. Maybe didn't even know we deserved, right? Like, they just feel so much bigger than we could ever desire them to be with this infinite potential. So obviously expect miracles, as always, but literally be open to anything. Don't try to limit the goals. Don't limit the expectations. Don't tell yourself, oh, it'd be great if I just got to this. Like, why can't you go further? Who said you can't go further? Like, sorry, if I keep looking up, I'm looking at this tree at the window. Probably shouldn't have sat here. Too easily distracted. But again, it's this, actually, that's a beautiful, thank you, Mr. Tree. It's this, like, giant, it's definitely an evergreen, some type of something. Has all those little, like, pine needly things on it. Anyway, but it's a perfect example. You think of the seed that this crazy super tall tree grew from. That's kind of the same thing. Like, you don't know what this little seed's going to be. Yes, it could just be a little simple weed. It could be a little flower bush. It could be, like a little tiny lemon tree. Or this super giant, mighty, crazy pine tree. Don't settle just because we got to this. It'd be just great if I could do this. There's much more potential out there than I think you realize for you, coming to you, that you can achieve, that you can do. Just think. You can get off my soapbox there. I don't know what is going on with my brain. I just could keep talking and talking and talking. Here we have door to the infinite. Same thing we've been talking about. Literally. So know that this could be bringing opportunities. We could be building opportunities. But again, you have to be open, right? We have to be open and allowing those to come. And then we have higher thought and inner child. So higher thought, we are dealing with the 12th house, right? With this full moon, because it's in Pisces. Definitely a very spiritual sign. In my opinion, one of the most, if not the most, spiritual sign out of all 12, right? Because it's all about transmutation, right? We're closing out the cycle, preparing for the new one to begin with Aries. So this higher thought to me is a lot more spiritual in nature, connecting to spirit, Christ consciousness, connecting to your collective. It's one big... Actually, for some of you, it could even be ascension, is literally kind of what I'm thinking now. So maybe a level up. But again, with this inner child card, this growth, this kind of expansion of spirit, of the mind, is linked to this kind of innocence and this playful, part of yourself that probably is being slightly, I don't want to say ignored, that's not the word I want, but, has kind of dropped on the totem pole as far as priorities go, which I get it, crazy time, we've all had to reassess, we've all had to make different and new judgments based on the circumstances and where we are and what we're doing now, so it makes sense, but there's this need to kind of reconnect here so that we can grow here. And this may also be connected to that full moon I talked about, where are we deluding ourselves? Where do we escape? Maybe we're not escaping enough, right? Maybe there isn't enough play. right? And being so rigid and so tense all the time is preventing this, right? Because we're putting up too many barriers, too many walls, too many limitations on ourselves. So that can definitely be a thing. This would also be a thing to really be aware of during Virgo season, right? Because Virgo season, not that Virgos don't have fun, they totally have fun. But remember, Virgos are all about the plan, the details, you know, picking out all the nitty gritty. That laser focus can definitely interfere with this energy, right? We do want to have a little more fun. We do want to have a little more play. You know, and I would also say that comes into the realm of dreaming, like we talked about with this door to the infinite and this infinite possibilities. You know, literally just kind of open yourself up to what this best scenario could be, what this could look like, what the, you know, most beautiful version of this story is, will be, could be. And, you know, okay, before we get into the tarot, I'm just going to add this to it. There also may be a need, because I'm thinking of this, I don't know if you guys can see it. At least I can't see it on my phone, but maybe in the recording you guys will see it. There's like a linear depiction of the Merkaba, kind of inscribed behind this angel. So the Merkaba, right, is essentially it's like two triangles, you know, merged together, but it's representing the fusion and union of masculine and feminine, right? It's unity. With that in mind, and kind of thinking about what I was just talking about, there may be a need really to decipher between what is a dream and what is an illusion for some of us with this new moon. You know, where were we hoping for the best, creating potential, creating space for growth and new lifestyles, new ideas, new you know, just ways to exist, new ways to be, and then where were they just pure escapism and full of fantasy and not grounded in anything and literally just meant as a distraction, right? So there may be the need to kind of decipher between the two of those for some of us as well. Just something to consider. Oh, totally holding these cards upside down. Let's flip that over. Okay, that feels better. For those of you who pull cards, when you do something differently, doesn't it feel weird? It's like sometimes I'm like, wait, this feels wrong. No, go back in there. You guys aren't very talkative today. Normally this deck loves to spit out cards. Alright, so Two of Pentacles along with the World. Love this. So Two of Pentacles, needing to be flexible. We need to be willing to try things out, to go with the flow. Again, to not be so rigid, because we have some things here that are trying to end, right? There's some cycles coming to a close. Again, with this full moon all about releasing, this is definitely a great opportunity to finally be done with things, to finally just cross the finish line and be over and done with it. But it does require you to have, I want to say, a little bit of trust. And I say that because this Two of Pentacles, as much as it's just, you know, go with the flow, be flexible, be a little more fluid, it does feel like it's not just about trying opportunities. It's not just about, like my little bunny wiggle. It's not just about kind of be like, yeah, I'll try it. It's really this fluidity. Be like, if you're telling me to go left, I'm just gonna go left, right? And that's where that trust is coming from. I normally would see that more in a card, like let's say like Temperance and things like that. But I'm kind of getting that vibe off of this Two of Pentacles. So we have the Hermit card, definitely connected to spirituality, right? And kind of going within and finding your own answers. And what does this mean to me? For some of you, there may even be messages coming through. We have the Five of Wands, so balancing out some inner conflict. To me, this is more so reconnecting with this inner child, especially for those of you who connected to that oracle card. This is more that rebalancing of, you know, can I even do that? Like, I feel like I need to be more responsible. I have to be laying down the plans. I have to be da 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 da. I got all these responsibilities. I don't have time to play. I don't have time just to dream and daydream and da 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 da. Which you're right, but at the same time, there has to be a balance, and it depends. Is this dreaming, visioning for what's coming up, or is this just daydreaming? You're getting lost and escaping what has to be done, right? So that you have to decipher for yourself. We also have the Two of Cups coming up with this full moon. So for some of you, this can be new love. This can be a soul connection. Considering the kind of themes and topics about this moon, there are some aspects with Venus, astrologically as well. So I'm kind of not super surprised to see this. But this is going to be more so things that we have to heal and fix concerning our relationships. So there may be some relationships that are coming to an end. There may be some behaviors regarding relationships that need to end. For some of us, we might be blocked off from love, right? For whatever reason, that we need to kind of heal and open back up again. So I think this is more our thoughts of love. Are we prepared for love? Our expectations of love or relationships are kind of being assessed, and we are essentially clearing out the old junk and tidying it up, right? So for those of us looking for love, or those of us who are looking to take a current relationship to the next level, there's definitely some conflict there within ourselves, right? Not between you and a person. That could be completely amazing, but there's some internal things, right, with this Five of Wands that need to be sorted out and kind of, I'm going to stick with tidied up. Tidied up is kind of the best way that I can describe what I'm kind of getting. They just need to be tidied up, right? Like spring cleaning. If there's some old stuff in there that you're not using and it's just taking up space, time to let that go. You take it down to the garage sale. There's some things that just, got a little tarnished. We're just going to polish them up, make them nice and shiny again. Just feels like a nice little tidy up. There we go. But be patient with yourself with that process also. I talked a little bit about that in the beginning, with the need to kind of be compassionate. Don't try to force it, even though you may want it to go super, super fast. Did I not talk about her earlier? Temperance. Told you. Told you. So trust in the divine. Trust in the big plan. Again, it may get a little heavy as we move through these final months of 2020 and into 2021. Woohoo! Be patient. Be patient. Know that things are going to work out. Know that we're going to move forward. If it starts getting heavier, deal with what you can. Push through it. Keep the faith. But again, be patient. Be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient, and be flexible. Be willing to... I woke up and I wanted to deal with this today. Oh, but now you're putting something else in my lap that needs my attention when I already had plans. It's okay. It's okay. This can wait. Put it on hold. Take care of this. Then you can go back, right? You can always go back. Nothing's permanent. Nothing's forever. Deal with this. You can go back to what you wanted to do, right? Six of Cups. There may be some things returning from the past. There may be an old flame coming back, right? That, has some... It may be a karmic thing, right? Because we also have the World, so it may be a karmic thing that's returning. Not necessarily that it's going to stay. I definitely wouldn't say it's about here to stay. But it may be coming, so you can finally close the door, end that chapter, say your goodbyes. Love and light, be well, but keep stepping. I don't see this as something staying, because again, we're trying to get more. We're essentially leveling up again, right? But this isn't a leveling up like when we had Lionsgate and we all got downloaded and we went like, woohoo, yeah, I'm smarter now. Like this is I was going to say trial by fire, which makes it sound so much scarier than it's really going to be. But it's almost kind of more Saturnian in the way this lesson is going to play out. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to pass the test, right? Like this is kind of like it's kind of like the final exam in a way, right? With this ending, but it's not something that you're going to be walked through. Like, here's a task. I want to see what you do with it. Let's see if you are going to respond differently. Let's see if you've grown past it and you can see the trap coming. If you can see the trigger and be like, nah, I'm good. And for a lot of us, if you watch last week's weekly videos, triggers popped up a lot for not all the signs, but I would say a good amount. I almost want to say no, maybe not a majority. I might be lying, but a good amount of signs. That was a common theme about recognizing triggers and actually being triggered in a way to raise your awareness, right? So we kind of got prepped for it last week with our study cycles, and this is what I want you to look for. This is that thing you had trouble with last time. What are you going to do differently? Because now that you've done it that way and you notice how well that turned out, you get to do it again. How are you going to respond? You're going to fall back on the old ways thinking something different's going to happen? If you are, no, don't do that. But like, this is kind of the moment where now you have to show your work, right? You did the homework. Now I need to see your work. I need to see your work. How'd you get here? Because last time you did this problem, you were wrong. So I'm going to give you a new problem, same skills. What you going to do differently this time, right? Is kind of what it feels like. So this person coming back around, for those of you where this is someone returning, and this could even be, you could even be just this person pops into your head, right? They don't even have to physically be back. But you could think about this old relationship. You could think about this time. You could even have a dream about them, right? With this Piscean influence. So they may just come back to your consciousness. And again, reevaluate. How did that go? What should I have done differently? What could I do differently? So when you see that scenario play out again with someone else, what you gonna do? Right? Oh, 7 of Cups, bottom of the deck. So having all these choices, options, confusion. What do I do? What do I do in this moment? Here we are again. I thought I was done with this. Maybe not. Maybe it's still here. Right? It lingers. It may physically not be here, but the ties to it, the connections to it, your perception of it might still be in the way. Chariot in reverse. So could be dealing with a Cancer for sure. But Chariot in reverse, slow progress. Right? Maybe even no progress. Chariot wants to run. Chariot wants to win the race, wants to go fast. Knight of Cups and 8 of Pentacles. So I did flip the 8 of Pentacles over because I wasn't really connected to it in the reverse. But essentially, so Knight of Cups, again, talking about a suitor. So a lot of old relationship stuff coming up with this moon for a lot of us. This 8 of Pentacles, I'm taking it as a sign that there's work you need to do, right? In reverse, it talks about not being a little lazy, not doing what needs to happen. I'm telling you, you got work to do. Go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't run away from it. Be open to it. Because again, if you want this World card, if you want to get through this and start a whole new cycle, end this old cycle, release these karmic debts, you got to do this work. You got to do this work, and it's never going to be as scary as you think it is, right? When we start hearing weird stuff like that, because I know I do it. Like if I do a reading and I'm like, oh God, you did not just give me that card. Nope, take it back. I don't want it. Like the hard stuff doesn't go away just because you're like, no, I don't see it. I don't know. No, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's gonna happen regardless. And again, if you can, this isn't hard work, right? The 8 of Pentacles literally is just like this. This is something you need to be dedicated to. You have to devote yourself to this. But it's your work. It's for you, by you, and only you. So if this never gets done, you never get to move on, right? You never get to next. You never get to try something different and new. You're gonna get stuck with this same old pattern and repeat it over and over and over and over again. So this you just kind of got to own and be willing to. This really does feel like this is asking you to do something different, right? Because normally the eight of Pentacles is really about honing in, dedicating yourself to a task, honing your craft, putting the blinders up, not getting distracted. It's just, this is what I have to do. I need to make sure this is done. I'm going to put all my energy into it so it can be done as quickly and as effectively and correctly as possible. That's kind of what this is going on. But to me, it feels new. Like this is a returning task. Like it's work that you've already done before, but there's a need to do it differently. There's a need to try it a different way because the old way isn't working. And I feel like I'm stressing this so much because it feels like you've done this test before, but you keep doing the same thing, or you do variations of the same thing, where really what's needed is for you to do something different. I have a very good friend who's probably watching this video, so you know who you are, who will, for all the time I've known her, she's repeated this phrase several times again in different situations, and not just to me, but that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, right? So think of your relationships. If you've always expected the same behaviors out of your partner, even if it was different people, doesn't, it could be different people, same thing pops up, or the same person in different instances. Depends. Take it how it resonates. But, if something happened and your response was always the same, whether it was out of defense, if it was just reactionary, if it was emotional, it doesn't matter. If your response was always the same, whether you were right or wrong, because that's not what we're talking about, we're just talking about the response. If your reaction to the thing always led to the same outcome, right? But that's not the outcome you wanted. It's not one you liked. I wish it was different. Why does this always happen? Try something different. Literally try something different. And again, it's not about being right or wrong. You could totally be in the right, and it could totally be justified that you have that reaction. But that response still didn't get you what you want. So was it worth it? Like, did you really win? Is it even about winning? You know what I mean? Like, and personally, I'm kind of actually going through something very similar. My poor friends had to listen to me all gripe and moan about it. Just wah, wah, wah. But I'm kind of going through that same thing where, talking to someone, I feel like I see a pattern repeating and it makes me want to do the same thing because I'm just over it and I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, really? This has to happen? But again, and I've had the response of what to do. I've had this response several times. Have I done it? No, because my little cancery self just gets those little pinchers out and I'm just like, meh, 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 meh. It's a thing. So try doing something different. It did get me a different response. I will give you that. I got a different response. Not exactly what I want, because again, I have to be a little patient. I can't expect to do one thing different and then all my dreams come true. I can't eat one salad, then I drop 30 pounds. Not a thing. But it's just that slight shift. And again, once you do something slightly different, then you do a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. But this is really asking you to commit to doing that differently, to doing that shift. Oh my god, and then look, bottom of the deck. Then you reach the Fool, right? Omega, Alpha. All right. I kind of feel like that's the end, but let's see if we can work for an outcome. Well, let's kind of see if we can do this differently. If we can just commit, because it feels like a commit, that Eight of Pentacles. It feels like there are way too many cards. Oh, no, it's only 3. We'll take it. Queen of Wands, manifesting. That Eight of Pentacles feels like it requires dedication. It requires you to just do it. I know it's going to suck. I know I don't want to do it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I've been told to do this and I've ignored it. I feel like I agree with this, that I have to do it. It just sucks and I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it. But it just feels like you just kind of have to bite the bullet with this particular Eight of Pentacles. It's just like you just have to do it. Regardless if you want to or not, you just have to do it. So Knight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Nine of Swords. I told you didn't want to do it. Told you didn't want to do it. All right. So 9 and Knight of Swords. To me, this is the struggle of wanting to move on and to understand and to have the answers to those questions. But just, God, this is probably that anxious energy I was picking up this morning. Just the worried about it, worried about, like, is it even going to work? Am I going to waste my time? Is this even the right thing to do? How do I do it? I've never done that before, right? There could be a million different questions. wrapped up in that Nine of Swords. But again, it's stressing us out. We don't like it, but there's this need to do more. I want to get past this. I want to move forward. I'm stuck at moving at this pace. I'm stuck of feeling like this is repeat. How do I make this different? Because I don't have the answers. I don't understand why this is going on. Queen of Pentacles. So again, this is very grounded and stable energy, being very centered. I would almost argue the complete opposite of this Knight. This Knight wants to move. This Knight wants to go. And the Queen of Pentacles saying, no, you got shit to do. I'm going to need you to sit down, do your work, sit at your desk. Everything's laid out for you. I just need you to do that and feel calm doing it. Just relax. This is what you're supposed to do. This is where you're supposed to be. I get you want to go out and play recess. I get that. But right now, this is math class. Like, I need you to sit down, do your work. Recess will be there for you when you're done. Like, the playground's not going anywhere. You can see it right at the window. It's not going anywhere. It's right there. But right now, I need you to do what's in front of you. I need you to do this. This is the time that you have to do it. So do it. And then you can play and have all the fun you want, right? So there is kind of this need to just be different and play with this and just try it, right? For some of you, that's why this inner child is so important, because that inner child wants to play, wants to have fun, and is willing to try things out, right? Everything is new and exciting for them, right? Because they're young, they're looking for those new experiences. So for some of you, that's why that inner child is so important, right? Like, okay, you know what? Whatever. If this is the rules we get to play by, that's fine. Where do we start? How does this happen, right? And then that's also connected to that receptivity. So, it's been over half an hour. Long reading. Lots in there. I'm gonna wrap it up there. But again, very, very good. Lots of old relationship stuff coming up for a lot of us. Lots of shifting their behaviors and things that you probably are, like, for those of you who resonate with that, I bet you already know what that thing is, what that action is that you've been putting off. You don't get to put it off for much longer. Now's the time. All right, my lovelies, I'm going to wrap it up there. As always, I love you guys. Thank you. Stay tuned for the weekly videos. Again, they're probably going to be a little different. I don't know how exactly yet, but they will be. We'll get there. But I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you in your next video. Stay safe out there. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.